Hey, Danny.
Anthony. Lovely Brooklyn, New York.
Got 2 new ones this week.
Good man. Good man. The shipping crate. What does that mean?
The signage is like, looks like corrugated metal. Just the first thing that stood out to me.
Mm. So when you write I called twice, just put Anthony the way I write Danny.
Okay.
Confirmed his name, Mr. Tong. All right, I'm dialing. Here we go. Brandy new number. Department. Hello, Mr. Tong, please.
I don't know English, sorry.
Well, that's okay. I'm calling in reference to your Underhill Avenue location, and she hung up. So a woman answered, and she said she don't know English, that she's sorry. You can note that in broken English. I don't know English, sorry. And then she hung up. Let's call her back because that's the only number we have. Here we go.
Okay.
What do? Do you pretend to know Chinese?
Hello.
Hi, I'm interested in renting some space from you here in Underhill Avenue. I would like to become a tenant. I think that might have been the dude. Third time's a charm. Let's try again.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
I'm interested in renting some space from you. It's my understanding that this is your location in Brooklyn. I called 3 times. You picked up the telephone and hung up on me. I'm not sure how you can do business in the United States of America without a realtor or an agent. I'm trying to give you money, so have someone who can communicate. Call me back, please. Danny D'Angelo. It's a little frustrating, isn't it?
Yep. I'm getting used to it, but
a lot of people say,
what it
"Oh,
is."
I don't." They know perfect English. They speak perfect English. Well, maybe not. And I
Well,
think
the guy that answered the phone sounded like he understood like perfect English, but I guess this woman didn't, or she's pretending to. One or the other.
Come si chiami? You don't
What's
speak
your name?
Italian. There you go. So you
No, I
know enough
don't. I don't speak
Italian.
Italian.
You know enough Italian to repeat Anthony Sana. You could say that back. So
yeah,
the
basic stuff. I know.
The guy
People
speaks
play
no
games.
English, but yet he likely can say, "This is who I am. This is what I do," etc. And there's no conspiracy theorem that this guy understands you and knows what's going on. They're clueless, and it's people don't understand, how could you live in a society like this? Well, you could walk into I travel internationally all the time. I blather on in English if I don't understand the local language. Sometimes in Spanish, my Spanish is so good that they start to talk to me as though I know what I'm doing because I learned from a Spanish speaker. These folks do not understand English, in my opinion, and they will only lease to Chinese folks. They will only have Chinese folks fix their plumbing. You understand? They can live in that universe and get it done in that way. I'm happy to call them. I'm not going to go find a translator because when I talk to them, I say, hello, how are you? How's it going? And if they want to do business, they'll do business the same way that they understand hello, goodbye, kumasikiami, which is what my grandmother used to say all the time when she couldn't think of the name of something. All right, we got Mr. Frank Miller, famous comic book artist. Here we go, stand by.
Hello?
Frank.
Yes?
Frank, my name's Danny. I'm interested in leasing some space from you here in Brooklyn.
Okay, what type of business?
I'm in the laundry business. I do coin laundromats.
Okay. So, what type of, how big of a store? Hello?
Hi. I'm looking
Hello?
Hi. Hi. I'm looking specifically at Atlantic Avenue.
Yes.
13.
I don't have nothing available there for you.
There's a coin laundromat already there, and that's why I'm calling. I'm interested in leasing that particular space. And I assume you have a tenant there. It sounds like you have more than one property you deal with. Is this your building, or you work for the landlord? You're a realtor in some capacity.
What difference does it make for you? Is it vacant?
The difference that it makes, my name is Danny D'Angelo. I operate 36 coin laundromats. I'm interested in leasing some space. I'm just trying to put the pieces together. So
you're just trying to put someone else out of business and get in, right? That's what you're trying.
No.
So you see that place vacant? If you call me as you're looking to open a laundromat, and if I have something for you, it's one thing. If you're calling me, if you see there's a laundromat operating and you want to take that over, I think that's not so ethical.
So if you go into a bread shop or a pizzeria and they make a horrible pie, they deserve to continue to do business? Don't give up, Frank. Don't give up, Frank. Don't give up.
Everybody has a different taste. My dear friend, what you think is horrible by a bread shop, the second customer could think as your bread is horrible. And have a good day.
Oh, you're going to give up? Like I said, don't give up, Frank. Don't be a pussy. And he gave up. Do you think Frank owns that building?
He's probably the operator landlord. He is on the deed.
So,
I mean, just based on how he's talking.
How many
I get.
Buildings do you think that this guy has?
I would assume just this one, based on how he sounds.
No. We're the sleuths here, right? We're trying to piece this puzzle together. So I called and said, Brooklyn. If he only had one building, right? One building, he would say, oh, I don't have any available space because he's got a tenant in the laundromat, right? I don't know. Is this, how many suites are there?
It's just one. It's just one.
Okay. So rather than say, I'm confused, sir. What are you trying to do? I don't have any available space. He said, what type of business are you in, right? Indicating that he's either a large landlord that owns lots and lots of space, suites all over the tri-state area, perhaps, or he's just stringing me along, which people don't do. Right? You with me so far?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Everything's indicating that this guy, so my thing is, he's probably a realtor. Now, if he's on the deed, that's different, okay?
He is, yeah.
Okay, so he's the actual landlord, but he's got to have his fingers in more pies, because he said, what type of business are you in? Well, I'm with Walmart. Then he'd say, oh, I've got a 30,000 square foot facility over in East New Jersey that you can jump right into, right? I don't lose my shit. I don't get upset when someone like this doesn't want to spend more than 12 seconds on the telephone. He didn't. He did not want to discuss the potential. But then he says, oh, you're in the business of destroying people's businesses. And so rather than talk about the laundromat, which is precisely the zig and zag that he thought I was going to go through, well, Frank, I don't want to destroy anyone's business. I say, you go have a shitty pizza. What do you think of that business? People have different taste. I love this guy. This is the kind of guy you want to have sitting across from you at Thanksgiving dinner. Have a knockdown, drag-out fight about everything from politics to dartboards, right? What a schmuck. And I said, don't give up. I knew he was going to hang up. Don't give up, Frank.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Have a nice day. He wants me to trip, stub my toe.
He jumped to conclusions right away.
He jumped to conclusions. Correct.
So I don't know if this guy is going to deal with us. So I might just. What are your thoughts?
Let's get on to that.
Give up on this place?
Of course, he will deal with you the moment that he loses his tenant. Anthony, this is a nice laundry. I don't mind calling nice. So? Yeah, sure. You go in there. Would you want to live there? Maybe not. Needs a little paint, right? But this place is probably doing $45,000 in this part of Brooklyn a month net, just by looking at it. The more horrific, the more disgusting, the more off the beaten path the stores, the better. As far as this one, you see, number one, the doors closed. We call Frank back. He'll act, dude, I've been doing this 20 years. He'll act completely different. I'll save his number in my phone. The other thought is, oh, the area is saturated. It's never going to work for me. This is not supposed to happen overnight. When it does, then your feelings, my client's feelings is always, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this. It's too easy. There's no happy medium, dude. And I'm not a medium. I'm not here to talk about your feelings. Find more stores, put them in here. We'll ring them up.
You got it.
Appreciate
it. Thanks,
you.
gang.
Ciao. Now, the thought process is, my goodness gracious, I've been doing this for some time, and we are trying to beat down these landlords. And the truth is, they are impossible to get on the telephone. True that. I want to talk about that for a moment. This laundromat on the street corner of 4th and Main Street in any town, USA, is running. It's operating poorly. And let's say it's a freestanding building. Are you imagining it? Okay. Jump into the comments and in the top chat and ask questions. I'm here to answer those questions for you. So that laundromat is operating. There's a tenant in place. And when we call the number to the landlord that you have found, it's a hard-fought process, and you found the right number, whether you have access to building code verification, or the internet, or your wife is a real estate agent, or there's a sign in the shop for lease, trying to get these folks on the phone. Let's look at the typical landlord. What do they look like? What do they smell like? What do they weigh? How many kids do they have? What do they do? A lot of them have a job. Maybe they're a pharmacist or a lumberjack. They don't just go around and collect rent. The preponderance of landlords do other stuff. You call Walmart to find out if they have the socks you like to wear, they better damn well answer. World's largest retailer. Sorry, I'm getting a new microphone. It's making the fuzzies. It's hard to get them on the telephone because I don't block my line. I call direct from my number. I'm not into that. Trying to spoof lines or pull bullshit, it never works well. You need to keep after it like anything worth doing. This particular dude, the notes are now in Anthony's account under his Google document, and I guarantee you, this guy's going to have a totally different tune. Oh, you're trying to ruin someone's business and put them out on their ear. I prefer somebody who doesn't speak any English. Come si chiami? Speaking of which, people do call back. Let's see if we can't hear if there's a voicemail message. He called back, but he didn't leave a message. Let's get the client on the phone. Mary.
Hey, Danny,
You'll never guess who called back.
is it your buddy Adam?
Why is he my buddy? Oh, because he likes cigars. Yes,
Hey,
Adam
he's
called
your
back.
buddy.
He did not leave a message. So let's call him and see what he says about this lovely laundromat in Rochester. Here we go. Now's where you subscribe. Do it. Do it. Do it. Come on.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging.
This guy have me on the pay no mind list or what the fuck? Let's try again. It's like we're back in the old doghouse with this dude. He didn't leave a voicemail. He didn't send a text.
Maybe it was a butt dial.
What a coinky dink. I just texted him, ring me. That's what they say in Britain. Let's try again. Here we go. You know, the phone makes a different noise. You can audibly tell if they're on the other line, and he doesn't appear to be. Here we go. Now I know you subscribed. You don't want to miss these here lives. gardening, water skiing. We literally called him 5 minutes ago.
Danny D'Angelo.
How'd you know it was me?
You call me.
All right, what'd you find out?
He said, just let me know what number he can pay if he wants to counter the 3,700 or 3,750 a month. And then he's like, I'll be over there tomorrow at 10 a.m. if you guys want to swing by, but it is still available for you.
We don't need to swing. All right, let's get a lease
Hey,
done.
do you know Lenny?
Lenny Marzakowski from D'Angelo's.
Do you know Lenny Marzakowski?
Used to be your plumber.
He used to be your plumber. He's standing in my office right now.
No, incorrect.
D'Angelo's Ratchets? No.
Different Danny D'Angelo. Jesus. Thanks, Lenny. All right, so you don't need
Guy's
to do
a
it tomorrow?
thief. He's a rotten thief, that guy, Lenny. Never met him. All right, what's the...
So you don't want to tour tomorrow?
No, I don't need a tour. What's the square footage?
Hang on, I want to say it's like 20. Bear with me. Danny D'Angelo, you're kind of a famous fellow around these parts.
That's not me.
Yeah, I don't think it is you. All right, let me see here, brother. At least this space, I'm trying to remember how big it is.
Rather than famous, I'm innocuous, ambiguous, anonymous, not famous.
You're anonymous. It shows 3,800 online, but I don't think it's that big. Let me
Look,
check my
I'm going to
files.
write it for $1 a square foot. So I know where I can survive. I understand you're going to come back with increases that are reasonable. I'm going to send you a letter of intent. But the next question, does this guy have any money? Is this a big real estate investment trust? Are they going to throw anything at it? Are they going to help me out with ADA compliant restrooms, all the things and stuff? Normally the air conditioners are shot in these laundries if they've been running for any amount of time. I asked that because I on a 15-year term, I want to cut to it. Am I going to see any TI?
They might not even want that long. So let me explain to you who these people are. So it's owned by the Michalitzis family, Michalitzis brothers. Bunch of Greeks. There's a bunch of them. They're probably all they're probably all late 50s, early 60s. They own all the Greek restaurants around town.
Mm-hmm.
They still work them in the mornings, and then in the afternoons, they do their real estate. They own that whole stretch between the laundromat all the way down. Bunch of other real estate. So they have a good amount of real estate between them. They're pretty solid. They're really good guys. I really like Michael a lot. He's a very reasonable dude. His goal for that whole stretch is eventually to bulldoze everything and build a 3-story high mixed-use development. And what he has told me in the past is, I'd like to sign, 3 to 5 year leases. And then if I ever do get around to convincing my family to letting me do this redevelopment project, any tenants that we have would have a right of first refusal to occupy the new retail space that I would build.
Perfect.
So that is sort of his dream. Wegmans offered him like $10 million, some stupid number, like 5 years ago for that whole stretch of property, and he said no. Their goal, Wegmans was either going to put a massive Lisa's Liquor Barn there or just add to their parking for East Ave Wegmans, and he said no. So
now
these guys have a good amount of cash.
Now it makes sense. It's been tough to nail you down on getting something done. That makes sense. When you said they don't want a long-term lease, the only reason, look, I own some commercial spots myself. The only reason you don't want a long-term lease is precisely what you said. You want to redevelop. You want to level this spot.
Yeah.
Great. Now, would you go in here?
Yeah,
and
he had
invest,
renderings and drawings done that I can show you. It's actually pretty sweet. But
would you go in here and invest
a
$500,000 in washers and dryers for 3 years? Of course you wouldn't. Neither would I. Knowing what you know, you wouldn't. Knowing what I know, I certainly wouldn't. So, now you said
and that's why I love to have you meet this guy.
Again, not my thing.
He would love you.
I'm sure. I don't golf. I don't smoke cigars with other people. It's it's a thing. I'm a family guy.
Golf is a big time suck. I play a lot of golf. and it's a big time suck.
I just told you I don't do it. So
Yeah.
it's not difficult for me to put together a proper and appropriate letter of intent for a laundromat. And what it's going to do for Michael and his ilk, they'll be able to look at it and say, oh, this is what a real laundromat operator can do. And really,
Right.
I'm laying out for him. I'm laying my heart to bear, and I'm saying, well, this is what we can do. So forget about what you can or can't agree to. If he wants to redevelop, then he shouldn't even consider it. But I'll send it to you anyway, so it's there. And then
Yeah,
in
let's
12
do
months, we'll
that,
reach
because
back
who
out
knows?
and I'll say, hey, it's been a year. You still haven't done anything. You know, what the hell? But I
Right.
get it. They're
And it's
sitting on
likely
that.
that they're going to keep kicking this can down the road. I think he's wanted to do this project for a while, but it's hard for him to get his family on the same page.
Understood. Now
So
we're
it's
repeating
very
ourselves.
likely that this
It's
will
the
be
goose. You know,
yeah.
the goose has laid the egg. You don't want to do the thing. I have your email. Give us 24 hours. We'll send you an LOI. I don't feel like it's wasting time. It's really allowing all the characters here in this Greek tragedy to come together and say, okay, now we know what they can do, what's reasonable and plausible for a laundromat, not for any other type of business. And, you know, if he's been offered 10 milli for the spot, then maybe he builds the high rise, maybe he doesn't. I don't want to put the laundromat in the basement of the high rise because then someone's spending the money on the infrastructure, which is already there, which is the only reason that we ever reached out. Good.
Right.
I'll email you.
Andy, I'm going to find you something else too, brother. You're going to be my golden goose.
As long as there's laundromat existing. Otherwise, I don't want to turn a former nail salon into a laundry. I don't want to even turn a dry cleaner into a laundromat. It says clean and close, but it's not the same business. You find me a laundry.
So how many facilities do you own?
36.
Sweet. Are they like
But-
automated and minimally staffed or?
What I do is precisely what every operator should do if they're trying to maximize profit. And I know you have a lot of questions. Oh, automated? No, they're cash. Cash is still king, believe it or not.
Sweet.
All right, let me send you an email.
I love it, dude.
Thanks, Adam.
Appreciate it, brother.
Let's recap, shall we? This
Yes.
guy has an office full of people, by the way, that are all just kibitzing and talking. And he wants for me to give him $36.50 a month, and just sort of, do a 3-year thing. No, that's not going to work. Doesn't make any sense. The equipment's junk. It couldn't make money for anyone. It needs to be retooled. So, Mary, put together an LOI. Don't be losing sleep over this. Make it $1 a square foot. Ask for all the things and stuff. And like I said, we're really just giving them a blueprint for what a real laundromat operator could do here.
Okay, and a 15-year?
Yeah. All the standard stuff.
Okay.
Have you done a letter
Okay.
of intent yet?
Yep.
Okay. Well, use the original template. If you need a fresh one, just text me and I'll send it, or email me and I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, no, I'll pull it together and send it to you for review.
Yeah, but I think this is a 2% chance anything's going to happen. But if we need
Yeah.
to reach out to him in a year and say, I mean, he gave us little tidbits. Do you know Mike? Oh, they know you. You're D'Angelo, everybody knows you. No, I don't know Michael. Just found out his name. Great. They're Greek people. They have lots of stuff and things. Wonderful. He wants to redevelop. His whole family wants to do nothing. Maybe the family wins. Maybe they look at the LOI and they do a thing, but you're not going to do it for 2 years. We don't dip our toe in the water. You know that.
Yeah.
All right. Got shit to do. Goodbye.
Thanks, bye.
And really, the only thing I have to do is kibitz with you people for a minute. Want to hear your questions. Christian says hi. Vincent says hi. I say hi to both of them. Claudine says already subscribed and I've been watching a lot of your videos. Well, welcome aboard, Claudine. Then she says, usually you say 15-year lease. Why is the 3 years okay? It is not okay, Claudine. Knowing how to read words is one thing, but reading comprehension is another. If you comprehend the video, I told the guy, get stuffed. No, we're not going to do 3 years. We're going to write an LOI just in order to bolster any future discussions with them. It's not a waste of energy. Give me some questions, people. Anything. You are interested in owning a coin laundromat or 2 or 10. You're interested in changing your future. Tell me in the comments in the top chat. The first YouTube video that you saw referencing laundromats. Tell me in the chat. Noah says, lots of landlords seem afraid of doing a 15-year lease. That's not true. Lots of them are not. I'd assume the smart ones would much rather a long-term tenant. Now, I was loaded for bear when he said, oh, they don't want to do a long-term lease. I was going to say, that's completely idiotic. Money in the bank. I've seen small, because there are small landlords who don't have any money. They just happen to have some property that their gram left them. I've seen small landlords take a signed lease to a bank and get a loan. It's gold. The only reason not to sign a long-term lease is what Michael and his family want to do, which is redevelop. So if you've got a long-term lease, and people, you might wonder, let's go back. The earth cooled, the dinosaurs came. Your lease cannot be broken by a landlord unless they buy you out. If your business is doing very, very well, you're going to go to litigation, and this is very rare. Very rare. Your business is earning you $40,000, $50,000 net a month. They're going to have to pay you that in order to level the building. It doesn't happen for that very reason. Maybe they want to sell the dirt. They want to sell the building. Well, the leases go with. That's the way it works. Claudine, for a beginner, what should I do first? Tell her, folks, what should Claudine do first? Chasing the dragon. Have you ever met or talked to anyone as smart or smarter than you? Please elaborate. Of course. Absolutely. Anyone who answers that in the negative, I mean, please. What is smart? Book smart, street smart. I've met and conversed with many, many people. The consultations that I have with folks that are far, far street smarter than me or book smarter than me. Now, ask me what I think about college or Ivy League. That's a whole nother discussion. Great question, because I think I get excited when the topic is Danny D'Angelo. Have I ever met or talked to someone? Are you trying to wind me up? And what is your name? Chasing the Dragon? Isn't that a drug thing? Anyone who answers that in the negative is either a fool or a liar, and I'm neither. The guy screaming at us to get off the bus day one at Navy boot camp, smarter than me. Is he a multimillionaire many years later? I don't know. But he was. He had gained and gathered more knowledge than I would at that point. Why don't you smoke cigars with people? I'm just trying to tell the guy, I don't want to be your friend, dude. It's just weird. The guy's in a great mood. Maybe he just got a raise. Maybe he met his wife in the closet before work today. I don't know. Of course, I smoke cigars with people. I'm not a cigar shop person. Go to the shop and sit around. I can't be bothered. Usman asks, what's the difference of buying a new retail space empty and putting new equipment and pulling old equipment and installing new? What's the difference? The is you're going to be spending $300,000+ to build a laundromat. Then you get into, and I know that Mr. Usman has not seen my silly course because it's in there. What is the difference? Everything. Environmental impact fees. You want to put a washing machine in the ground in San Diego County, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, whatever it's up to. You build a brand new house, the developer, the builder, the contractor, eventually you sign on the line for your $7 million home, and somewhere in the line item, or even a $500,000 home, the line item says $8,000 for the EPA fee. Now, not a big deal. It's part of doing business. It's what you have to do in New York, LA, or anywhere in between. What are the EPA fees in Ottumwa, Iowa? I don't know. Less? Sure. Now try to do that 60 times and build a new laundromat. Not going to happen. So the differences are many. You don't want to do it, period. Why do I speak so matter-of-factly about my way? Because it works. Does it work every time it's tried with every single landlord? No. I'm happy. I could call every call and make it all look like roses. Not my thing. I'm a real person and a realist. And I don't do this bullshit YouTube. If I said bullshit on YouTube, YouTube gets angry and pushes me to the bottom of the algorithm. I don't want tens of millions of views collecting quarters. I'm not an ASMR guy. I want to make sure my heart and my passion is to make sure you don't go out and build a laundromat because you will lose. Hi, Danny. Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia's doing it right. Give me her name. New to your channel, I'm looking at laundromats in the Caribbean. Many of them are absolutely disgusting. Most, if not all, are owner-operated. What she means is landlord-operated. Great. Get my silly course. Let's get on the telephone. Let's call those landlords. Because if they're making $1,000 a month, we might be able to give them $1,200 a month in rent, and they can walk away. Makes sense. I'm not against win-win. That is a win-win. Someone needs to lose. Let them lose. Patrick, I know you say free laundromat, but shouldn't you have some money to start off renovations, etc.? Patrick, for those of us who've done this 12, 15, 30 plus times, it becomes a game. For me, a game is buying a brand new $100,000 pickup truck and I walk out 0%, no money out of pocket. My signature has value. But if I tell you that I do that thing and you yourself can't figure it out, eventually you might. So I'm telling you, should you have money? Sure. You should have an exquisite 850 FICO score like my 18-year-old. Almost 900 like my 21-year-old. But that's because they have the knowledge and the power that it brings from someone right next to them discussing money. Your question is a fearful one, like most. I don't have any money, so I shouldn't even try. That's what keeps people going to a job. There's nothing wrong. Salt of the earth, we need people in jobs. Trust me. Cynthia says, I'll be taking your silly course to begin retooling these island laundromats. Customers deserve better. Good for you. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank yourself. Versus removing old equipment. I knew what you meant. Yeah, don't do it. I'm not currently working, says Claudine, which is why I haven't purchased the course. Get a job, Claudine. This is your father speaking. Go out and get a job. It is the necessary evil. The grease that skids the wheels. You need a job. Get a good job. Get a great job. Get a job. Na. Get a job. I don't sing. Hey, what's up, Danny? If a lease is signed and the operator leaves the equipment behind, do we keep the store open and continue to use that existing equipment until we retool? Yes. Yes. You don't want to lose the 4 or 5 idiotic customers that still come in. Great question. It's in the course. Yes. Usman, I promise I'm going to buy it. I'm not looking. It doesn't make or break my day. I want you to get the silly course, like Devon says, like everyone says, because it might teach, train, mentor you. It might make you understand that this isn't the right business for you. It's guaranteed, always has been. How's that possible? No one's ever returned it because you're going to see it and say, holy hell, now I get it. And this is not a sales call. We're not here to do that. Usman, just left, right, and center with the questions. Would you recommend machines with credit card readers? Oh, boy. I have fun with this. In the course, cash is king, which you wouldn't understand. Everything's going away from cash, blah, blah, blah. What happens when your card reader goes down? Your store is essentially fucked. Is that what you want? Customers walking in. Many of my clients all over the world scout stores. They say it's a card store. I did a live in LA. We walked in. I was like, it's a Friday. There's no one in here. It might have been a Saturday. There's no one in this store. What's going on? Oh, it's a card store. And the card system was down. You couldn't buy cards. There's no attendant. Imagine now you have to have an attendant selling cards every day. You've got to have an employee. Claudine, yes, I have said it. I say things again and again in a different way. Try to be entertaining. But the real difference, the landlords, the people I talk to, the folks that pretend to speak no English. How much capital do we need? Nothing. To do this properly, nothing. Nothing. Attar Rahman, how can I get one-on-one coaching? Well, I'm not a coach. Unless you want some help with pistol, rifle, shotgun. We can talk. I can even make calls for you like you saw on this very video. Imagine, Mr. Rahman, and I'm assuming you have not seen my silly, very inexpensive, acclaimed video course. Imagine that right now, this minute, we jump on the phone. It's going to be ugly. You, sir, have 1 million questions. None of those are minutia. They might be small things, but they're important, like the folks are asking here. What do you think you need to do first? Get the silly course, ingest the silly course. Then you will know the first million answers. And then, oddly, at the end of it, there's a little thing. It's not salesy. A lot of people miss it. They email me, hey, how do I get on the phone with you? Because it's not me shoving it down your throat. Let's do this next thing. I don't want to sell you a course and then at the end it says, now course number 2, give me more money. It's not a loss leader. It's not free. Like the way people say, I'll send you a free DVD, a free book, a free whatever. You know how that works. That's just the front end of the ass leader where you have to pay. You can talk and get my actual one and only cell phone number, Mr. Rahman. Start with the silly course. Who spot the course says Emily. My name's Cameron. Probably remember me from our... Yeah, I've been emailing you back and forth and back and forth. Your last name is actually family? It's confusing. What's your name? Tone. Family is your last name. Good God. Change your last name. It's terrible. Patrick says favorite cigars. You know, it changes over the years. It really does. Padron, great cigars for their draw. I'm always partial to Monte Cristo number 2s. Cuban. As they should be. Do the vendors look at credit when retooling? Of course they do. So you should just give up on this. If you have an 820 FICO score and no job and no income and no money in the bank, you can go into a Ferrari dealership, sign on the line, and drive off the lot in a brand new Ferrari. Did you know that? You might not be able to make the payment or put gas in the thing, but they will let you have the car. The credit is the only thing they care about. You are qualified to drive off the lot. You know what qualifies you to get laundry equipment? Having a lease in hand. It is completely and utterly different than anything else. It's in the course. Now we're talking. No, I didn't know you were a cigar guy. Partagas number 2. Good cigar. And you're up in Canada, so you can get Cubans as well. You just walk right in and buy them. I have things to do. I'm going to give you guys some marching orders. When I burn this down, go over in the actual video, not here in the top chat. Go over in the actual video and tell me some dad jokes. Ask questions about this process, or just get the silly course. Write it off. Everybody on here should understand tax write-offs and how important that they are.
Unknown caller.
That's good. Let's see who this is. They gave up. Emily's back with a query. What's the best way to source owners of the buildings? I use skip tracing for residential properties. Same. Most of these little slumlords have a for lease sign in the neighboring suite. Who's your landlord of your local Walmart? Did you know there's a sign in the parking lot that tells you that? No, because you're not looking. It's like fat kids in donut shops. If you ain't looking, you won't find them. Dad jokes, tell me some. Ciao.